Welcome to San Diego's most popular local morning news. Good morning, San Diego.
Dr. O'Leary is here this morning to share some tips on how to better improve your golf swing without hurting yourself. You're going to need to know that when you watch the U.S. Open today. Get out there on your own. Stay with us. Oh, welcome back. We are outside with Dr. Michael O'Leary, and I'm playing his caddy today.
Dave, you're doing a good job looping for me there, bud.
Thank you very much. With the U.S. Open in town, of course, you're going to be out there. Never fails. Right after a major tournament like that, the courses are packed, and everybody wants to get out. But there are some things that you can do with your game to stay healthy, right?
Dave, you can even do them while you're watching the tournament today.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a perfect time.
In your living room?
So you can do it in the living room. You can do it standing behind the ropes with Tiger in front of you. So
you might want to leave the club out of your hands in your living room, though.
That may be true, or you'll be kicked out of the house.
Exactly. Okay, so what's the general idea here?
Well, everybody has tips for golf. So I'm in a totally different place. I'm a balance doctor. I work with balance. And watching Tiger today at the and all week at the tournament has been an amazing thing, looking at balance in golf. If you're going to do one thing to really improve your swing, take a tip from Tiger and watch balance. Every single pro that plays this game has balance worked out before they do anything else.
Even with his injured knee, he's been able to do this.
And that's why it's so impressive.
Yeah.
It's just amazing when you finish a game, and I'll give you a couple of tips.
And I'm going to back out of the way so I don't get clubbed.
Yeah. So the first thing is to realize nobody thinks about balance. It's a hidden sense. Right. We talk about our eyes, our ears, our smell, our taste, our feeling, but balance isn't included, and yet it's so fundamentally important. Tiger, as you know, has injured his left knee.
Right.
Now, Tiger did a brilliant retooling of his swing to make it last for eons, but when you watch a good golfer finish, they are all left knee. And yesterday, you may have noticed in a couple of his swings,
cringed.
It buckled. On 17 yesterday, he actually buckled and had to recover because of this pain that came in here. And the amazing thing is he's working through that pain because the brain is saying, don't do this. And it's very hard to be doing what he's doing. It's just remarkable. So here's some tips, though, for the average non-Tiger player if you really want to fundamentally do this. So a couple of them are pretty simple. The first thing is realize golfing is probably one of the best things you can do for your balance. It's a moving terrain. You're walking. Get out of the cart. Do a walk and enjoy the ground and the movement, and all of that really is helping you, especially as you get older, stay mobile and stay fit.
Okay.
The other things you can do in the swing, and believe me, I'm a hack golfer like everybody else out here, but I've learned some things about balance. And one thing you can do when you make your swing, as you follow through, just think of that follow through, hold that position until you see whatever shot you're doing, the ball land. And don't move. If you go to a driving range, you're going to see a lot of this.
Yeah, jerking,
and a lot of
jerking around.
This.
Right.
Any of those are dead on arrival.
Yeah.
So just go through whatever swing you take and hold it till the very end. And watch the pros, they all do it. It's just amazing watching them. They're like statues. As far as balance that you can be doing right now watching Tiger, you can do this anywhere. A couple of tricks. One is to focus on using what I call the what do I call it? They gave you the name of it.
You got the flamingo dance?
The flamingo dance,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay, all right.
So get on one foot and take your other foot and actually just dance it around while you're standing in any position. Now, this looks a little funny on the bank line, but you can give it a try, Dave. You can try it out here, even on the golf.
Get the one leg,
And when you get tired on one, switch to the other one and do the same thing.
All right.
And as you get better at it, actually swing it around a little bit. So take it and do almost like an Irish dance.
All right. Yeah,
and see if you can do that. But stay stable on your one and feel yourself getting down into your center as you do it.
You may get a few looks, but it's
you will get
for
looks.
You. Yeah.
But if you're watching Tiger, why not be out there doing this?
Yeah, right.
Maybe Tiger will look at you. But this is really a great exercise because what you're doing now is putting all your core muscles, and you'll feel it. You'll burn energy with this.
Is there a
impressive.
different exercise? I mean, the driver, obviously. Is there something different that you need to do with other clubs, or is it mainly the same swing that we're talking about here?
It's the same thing, although things change quite a bit depending on what you're doing. If you're watching Tiger, when he goes to one of his chips, let me take my lob wedge he's got, and Mickelson, all the great golfers are like this too. It's a whole different thing when you're not doing a lot of mechanics, but you'll watch. The only thing that's moving in them are their hands and maybe a little bit of their hips. The rest of their body is absolutely stationary. They are rigid. They are not moving. When they putt, and I use a long putter, like Peterson is on the tour.
I'm a pretty good caddy, aren't I?
You're doing a beautiful job.
Thanks.
I got a big tip coming up for you. Here are your tips.
Yeah, here are your tips. The flamingo.
But if you watch the great putters, too, and I like the long one like I was saying the other one, there is no movement other than the swing of the club. Their entire body is absolutely stable. Any adjustments you make in performing the swing when it gets to a more subtle swing, are devastating.
Okay, what about the core exercises that you talk about?
Yeah, so the one I like is that flamingo, which is one because you can feel it's all down here in your legs. You have to feel yourself. Something like Tai Chi is a great thing to be doing. That's really where some of these come from. Another one is movements. If you keep your shoulders steady, but rotate and bring your feet closer and closer together as you do it, we are essentially a cone when we stay in balance.
Yeah.
This is even more funny when you're on the bank line. People are really wondering what you're doing.
They may think you've been drinking a little.
Absolutely. That doesn't help, by the way.
No.
The beer at the 14th hole is not a good idea if you're really trying to score.
That is not suggested.
But all the core muscles are the part that you're really working on strengthening. We work in the periphery, but it's the core that really grounds a good golfer, which is why you can have people as tall as me or as short as 5'2", and they're still hitting a beautiful ball.
What are the major injuries that you see from golfers because they don't do these things?
You know, big one is the classic weekend golfer. We're running to the course. We run right out. We do no stretching. So this is another one you can do if you have your golf cart or your caddy.
I didn't bring my cart.
You can use your caddy.
Okay.
But go ahead and limber up before you get out and actually do the play. You know, do a full set of stretches. Do the back. The back is huge in this. I work with two really good back surgeons at our hospital in Alvarado, and we see a lot of back injuries from golf done poorly. Golf done well, if you watch Tiger's retooled swing, that's what he did. He toned it down. He said, I'm going to be doing this for 40 years. How can I make sure I can always do it? Right. And that's really key.
And one final tip, skip the golf cart if you can.
Absolutely. Get out there and walk. It's the best thing going. That's the way you got to love Torrey Pines. As long as it is, it's a great hike and great for you, great exercise.
All right. Doctor, thank you so much.
Dave, my pleasure.
We appreciate it. And
I'll take my putter now.
I can't. Okay, I'll give that back to you. Because so many golfers just get out there and do it, and they don't take the time to warm up, just like any other activity.
And the game, you know, is all about taking the watch off, and you're going to just spend 3 or 4 hours, hopefully, in a really beautiful place.
Okay, Doc, thanks so much. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Thank you,
Stay
Dave.
with us.